everybody. We'll do again as usual. Please turn off the microphone and the camera and only turn it on if you want to speak. Like that we have a better connection here. I hope everybody is well, comfortably installed. Is there anybody who would like to start our dialogue? Please come in.
Werner, good afternoon, and I hope that you are doing well.
Hello, hello, Udi.
I'm really sorry that I missed the last meeting last week, but during these 2 weeks, I'm very busy with maybe a basic question for myself, the thinking about the truth, the deep meaning of the truth. What I'm really think when I said this is my truth, what is the meaning of the feeling that I'm in a situation that it's a truthful situation? Can you say something about this word or situation or condition which people called it the truth?
Yeah, the situation is as truthful as you perceive it. You give it the truthfulness. But basically, this whole story is not as real as it appears. Now, there is the fact of the experience. The experience is real. But actually, all the details of our experience, they come from a common cloud of consciousness, and yet each one is somehow projecting their own detail onto that. And so we are giving it truth as we perceive it. And if you are sure this situation is true, it's a truthful situation, that the situation is true for you at that time, for your experience. But truth is not something that is so easily to be pinpointed in manifestation. For in manifestation, it's always an expression of truth, which is after that very much filtered through our perception, through our sense organs, and through our mental makeup. The most truthful thing, the most truthful aspect in every situation that you are experiencing is you. You are there to give the truth to the situation.
But is the meaning that when I'm trying to bond some situation to the self of mine, is already taking the sense of out of it? Or it's something that is exists when I had this feeling or realization of powerful primary thing, maybe I'm looking in something like that.
If you have an experience like this, then just enjoy the benefit of the experience. be happy that it has happened, that is there or is there for some time. Take all the inspiration and the strength that you are getting from it, but try not too much to analyze it and categorize it. Because then already you turn it again into a concept that you after that put into your mind. There is somebody interfering, Galaxy A20. Please turn off your microphone.
Sorry.
Woody, are you still there?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Ah, there you are back. So don't track your brain too much about the truthfulness of that experience. An experience is an experience. And even a wonderful, beautiful, expansive, cosmic experience is an experience. It comes, it has a duration, it goes. But certain experiences are very precious because they are purifying. They help us to let go of our old attachments. They help us to let go of our old concepts. So they are not meaningless, but still, it's an aspect of that mystery that we can say is the truth. We'll never grasp the truth in its entirety. So don't try to catch then something and think, oh, that is the truth. That is truthful. It's an expression of truth. It's an expression of the divinity. It's an expression of what you are. And it can give you a much more profound insight into the nature of things, into your own nature. And yet, don't try to figure out, is this the truth? Where whatever we are experiencing, it's an aspect, however beautiful, however wonderful, but that which makes the experience possible, that is the source of it all, and cannot possibly be grasped, and then we can understand, oh, this is the truth in its entirety.
So whenever I experience something and I'm trying to even understand it, express it, put it in words, something is going away from it.
Yes, you can say so. I mean, if you discuss it with somebody, then already it's smaller than what it really is. You can discuss it with people who are close and who understand at least somewhat the direction, but don't go around and tell everybody you're experiencing your experiences. It's more like then every time a little bit of the beauty disappears.
That even when I talk with myself.
Even if you went, you can talk with yourself, but then when you catch yourself trying to categorize it, try to analyze it, then you stop yourself and say, hey, come on, shut up, Woody. Just remember the experience, connect with the beauty of it, and that's it. Without trying to figure out, is this now this, is this now that, how much of the truth is in it. You have to let your scientific mind go there. It's helpful on the way, on the path towards it, but there you have to let your scientific mind go.
True. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody else would like to talk? Please come in.
Hello, Werner.
Hello.
Good to see you again.
Klaus.
Yes, yes.
Klaus. Yes. Good to see you.
I would like to check in with you. Actually, it's as last time. It's a bit like Udi also is experiencing. There was something which I understood on Tuesday, that if I go into the mind, that will always be changing and it will never be stable. But the self is always stable. So the reference of what we are is the self. And then, yeah, it was like the mind isn't, and the experience isn't taken that serious any longer. There is more of this, just this beingness, which is just here. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good understanding. Any experience is continuously changing, which makes the experience possible. That is there, like a rock. No matter how much anything is changing, moving, in whatever way it is developing, that which makes the experience possible is simply there. Undefinable, unexperienceable. We can have wonderful experiences that are more and more expansive, wonderful. It's helpful, inspiring, purifying. But you are that, so you cannot really experience that.
I feel like when I'm not thinking and I'm not identifying with anything, then there is like, it is an experience which is just there. And but every time I try to put this into form or try to say something about it, it's gone, you know, or it's not gone, but it's not that. It's not that experience. It's just, if you try to grasp it, it will go away. But if you just still, it's just like, it's there.
You just relax in it.
Yeah.
Not define it, not explain it, not put it in words, just relax in it. Be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to check in with you with this, because last time it has been so much strong negative emotions going on, and now this is just, since Tuesday it's been like yeah, more present, or what can I say about it?
Yeah. Nice, wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Continue like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody wants to come? Okay, then I will talk about the question one friend from America asked, who lives now in Mexico. Ron, most probably he's not here. It's very, very early in the morning, and he said he has a bad Zoom connection there. But then, if you are not here, Ron, after that you can listen to this in the recording, which I will put on YouTube. His doubt was about, I'm talking a lot about being here, being now, timeless, connect with that. And he has spent a lot of time with Amma. And he finds when he's with Amma, he has the tendency, instead of focusing on that, being here, being now, being conscious, focusing on Amma as somebody, something outside, somebody from whom he expects something, somebody who can interfere in the life, make things better in life. Of course, the tendency is there. If you are with such a powerful being, then the mind so easily comes to that conclusion. I can ask Amma to bless this, to bless that, to do this, to do that. And she does it also to some extent. It gives people devotion, it gives people inspiration, it helps them often in their life, but you cannot be sure, you cannot go to her and say you want something and then after that invariably it's going to happen. It's not her job. Many people approach her like this. I mean, of all the crowds that come to Amma, it's not that so many people really come and want self-realization. Most of the people want something, like the people who come here on full moon, walking around the mountain. It's not that they are coming, walking around the mountain, asking divinity manifested in this mountain, around the mountain, to give them self-realization, to give them liberation, but they come and asking for all the practical things in their life, starting a new business, one of things. And so the temptation is there to do the same thing with Amma. But if you see that, then you can reduce that aspect. I can tell you, Amma is waiting for people to ask really for the real thing. And she's supporting, even if it's not so easily visible, she's supporting totally any attempt to go deeper. That's her main interest. But then she does so many things in the world, so she will do a lot of things that people ask her. If somehow she feels it's right in the story, then she may adjust things in someone's destiny, that things are getting easier. She may do the opposite. If she sees that the hardship helps someone in the long run to go deeper, to unfold, to open up, then she will not remove the obstacles, but rather leave them there, maybe even strengthen them. But for the sadhak, you are right, Ron. When you go to her, don't try not to go just into that channel of wanting something from her, thinking of her as somebody outside of yourself, but rather approach her with the attitude, here is such a powerful, such a wonderful manifestation of what I am, and open the heart to that when you get close, and also when you think of her from far. And when you catch yourself of thinking, oh, she should do this, she should do that, then you just bring the attention back to the other aspect. Make use of the presence of that manifestation, of that energy that is there, to help you to go deeper into yourself. The mind will slip in the other time and again, never mind. When you become aware, then you just focus mainly on just connecting with Amma's essence. Connecting with Amma's essence is connecting with yourself. It's the same as consciously bringing your attention to the here now. You said you have basically a Buddhist background, and so there is that conflict of coming to that essence or going to that whole manifestation thing, but that conflict need not be there. You just have to remember, Amma is so busy, she goes on and on and on. Well, right now, like everybody, she cannot go around. She's in the ashram. But usually she goes on and on, so many activities. And it's easy to get sucked into that and completely forget the essence. Remembering what it is all about. But since you see it, Ron, then you can work on it. If you were not aware of it, nothing could be done. But you see it, and so just intend. Even if you connect again more with Amma, you had a bit the shyness of connecting because of the fear of after that slipping away from the essential, but you don't have to. Go and connect if you feel like, if your heart pulls you there. But remind yourself not to go asking mommy, give me this, give me that, do this, do that, but go there that you meet yourself, that you feel that presence. And the more you feel that presence, the more you are in that timelessness of the present. The more you are in the now. And then you feel there is that idea of a conflict of your Buddhist background and being with Baba will melt away. There is no conflict. I don't know whether you are here, Ron, and you can hear me, but I hope for the time being I have answered your question. You can always write again if there are aspects that you would to clarify more for you. Anybody else would like to come in? Please come in.
Werner,
Hello, Helen.
Werner, how are you?
Oh, quite fine.
You look well. Yeah. We're talking about Amma. I feel kind of a block now towards Amma. I was very close in terms of my heart. I was in Amma's ashram and felt a very strong connection. And I asked Amma through the interpreter for dissolution. I was ready.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, my father died. 5 weeks later, my beloved husband of 20 years died. Couple of months after that, my good friend committed suicide. And then a few months after that, my godmother asked for me and I nursed her for a week and she died. And it started off a process of dissolution, not knowing who I was anymore, and moments where felt like Amma was looking through my eyes. And yeah, and then I kind of stabilized in this, and then last I came to Tiru a little short while ago, and I thought, I'm not going to go and see Amma. I don't know what this will provoke, but I went and had a hug from Amma, and a few days later I got a phone call that my brother had a stroke. Yeah. And so now I have this situation where I've actually put away all my pictures of Amma, and it's just, I kind of feel supported. I don't know, it's like, I mean, yeah, I think I just wanted, I think I just want to share that, be careful what you ask for from Mama. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change it. At the same time, I wouldn't change it, but I really I just want to share, be careful what you're, and there's a kind of regret in me that I can't be fully open anymore. There's like, I don't know, I think that there's something in my heart's closed towards her, which means something closed towards myself. Do you have anything to say about this?
It's a conflict in your mind. Now you asked in front of Amma for dissolution.
Yes.
And then when things start to dissolve in your life, then you think it's Amma who is doing it because you asked it. It may have intensified something that anyhow would have happened eventually, but then comes the mind back and says, I didn't really mean it like that. So it's dangerous asking for dissolution, because who knows what else is breaking down in my life. But the real dissolution actually is this identification with the personality that we think we are. And because in your life, all these things happened, somehow your personality got shaken up. And then there is the fear of letting go. And one aspect wants to let go, wants to be free of that identification, but then another aspect is afraid and thinks, oh, if that goes, what's left? And resists. And your feeling now towards Amma is that resistance is producing that part that doesn't want to let go. Don't you worry about those feelings. Never mind. You just connect with the now, and this will pass, and the heart will open again. And ultimately, it doesn't matter whether you go your way with being close with Amma or not. One way or other, you have to connect with the essence. And if the connection with Amma helps you, fine. But if you feel that avenue for the time being is a bit closed, then just don't you worry about it. And maybe it's opening all by itself and you will happily go back to Amma. Be careful what you ask.
Yeah. After that, my heart opened to Arunachala. So it's, and I felt beyond all logic drawn to Arunachala. Yeah.
That's good enough.
That's good enough. Yeah.
Right. Need not think you have now, you must connect with Amma because you have connected. Essentially, it's the same. Whether you connect, we are giving all these names, we are projecting all these forms, and then whether we call that Amma or Arunachala, essentially the same, a little different aspect how it is manifesting. And if you are more open to that way, this truth is now manifested, expressed through Arunachala, then connect with Arunachala by all means. Our problems come because of our contradictory mental activity. I want to let go. No, I don't want to let go. I want to dissolve. No, I don't want to dissolve. I want to be free, but no, I want to stay as I am. And somehow we have to see that mental mechanism, how we handicapping ourselves, and how we are longing for one thing and actually often putting the breaker that one thing cannot happen, and then learn not to do that anymore. It happens to everybody. Our loved ones, they go. And if we are very much connected, if we are also attached, then of course that can shake up our world. And you said, I didn't know who I am anymore. In a way you are saying like that you're defining your existence with your connections. Because otherwise that wouldn't take in any way your awareness of yourself. But that's not what you are. That's the role you are playing. And when it's shaken up, then it's the moment. It's a moment not to hold on stronger to it, but to see it and to let go. And of course, if we love somebody, if we are close to somebody and they go, and we know we won't see them in that life anymore, then the reaction is sadness. But then that sadness is not bad. Let the sadness come, experience the sadness, but let it not pull you into self-pity. Let it not pull you into a black hole, but just experience the sadness, mourn for your loved ones, and let it go away and be clear here now that you are what you are. You are not your personality. That personality is a role that you're playing. You are not the connection that that personality has with the other people, with the rest of the world. This is just part of the theater, part of the role you're playing. But you are what you are, unattached, unconcerned, unaffected. You were, and you are, and you will be. The more we learn to connect with that, the more we learn to live that, to be that, to relax in that. The more you go about playfully, sometimes there are joyous circumstances, sometimes there are sad circumstances, and yet in your inner fullness, nothing of that really, really matters. This whole thing is a momentary show, this life as a human in this world. We take it much too serious, much too real. It's just a momentary show we are going through to get some experience. You wanted to say something more about it?
No, I just I just, when you were saying it's momentary, just something inside me was nothing ever happened.
It happens as an experience.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep, you dream up all these stories, and when you are fully immersed in the stories in the dream, it appears to be totally real and takes a long time, and so many things happen. Then you wake up and you say, oh, nothing happened. It was just a dream. And yet, while you're experiencing it, it still has the reality of an experience. At that moment, relatively, in your dream, it happens. But it's not real. It still happens. And this long, drawn-out dream is not that much different from that dream experience. We take it so serious, we are so totally identified, it appears to be so solid, so real, so true. Maybe one day you say, uh-oh, it was not as real as I thought. Like when you wake up from the sleep, uh-oh, it was just a dream.
Werner, thank you.
You're doing fine. Go on like this. You're doing fine. Is there anybody else who would like to talk?
Hi, Werner.
Ah, there. Yes. Hello.
Hi, it's Maya.
Maya. Yes. Israeli Maya.
I don't have a question. The words like fade away. I just want to take a chance to tell you thank you very much. Every week to get your energy that comes through you, all the pointers that you give us, all the teaching that come through you and the energy, week after week, it's so powerful, it's so going deep. And I just want to express this thankful feeling that I have for this chance and to say them out loud.
You're welcome. But it's because you are open that you're reacting like this. Maybe you are feeling your own energy, not my energy.
Yes. Yes, I know it.
Yeah. Anyhow, you're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. It's very precious, and I so appreciate the chance of it. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Sorry.
Anybody wants to come in? I see somebody open. Rattering. Is it just by mistake that the camera is on, or did you want to come and say something? Oh, camera is off. Anybody who would like to talk something but feels a bit shy
Werner?
because it's public, so don't feel shy. We are all in the same boat.
Hello,
Ah,
Werner?
hello, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Hello.
I would like to ask you, because when you were talking with Helen, you told her that sometimes we put our break, and I have
Your
that
sound is very low.
Yeah,
Sorry.
can you hear me now better?
Better, yes.
Yeah, okay. So you said before to Helen that sometimes we put our own break in our spiritual path.
Yes.
And this is the feeling that I have sometimes, no, that sometimes I have that feeling that I'm putting the break. And when I realize that, I ask always to myself, what am I doing? And which is the purpose of all of that? If I am maybe playing some kind of game with myself, or it's just some obstacles that I have to overcome. So I think that actually is one of the things I ask to myself very frequently.
Yes. It's good that you are asking yourself and that you see it because everybody is doing that. We are master saboteurs, sabotaging our well-being all the time. Because if we simply were ready to let go, it would be enough to hear that once and we just let go. But then there is that old habit, that wants to continue in the same way, but make the old way just a bit better. And then we hope that with spirituality, with meditation, with whatever we are doing, we can keep it intact, but give it some extra edge, some extra beauty. And as soon as it goes deeper, then the old personality sort of realizes, hey, I have to let go. It's not really that there is somebody there that has to let go. It's simply that we keep on projecting ourselves, understanding our self-experience again and again and again in the same way that it seems like this person has its own life, but this person is just something that we keep on projecting. And if we see that, and if we know it's a role that we are playing, then there is nothing wrong with, because as long as we are appearing, we have to appear as some personality or other. But the habit to feel secure in it has grown so strong that after that, when we sometimes start to dissolve, even part of it, there comes that fear, but hey, wait a minute, my security is going. That security, of course, is something that we are projecting that is not really true. It's a false security, but still that feeling of security in our old familiar way of experiencing is there. And when we push the limits, then there comes the habit of somehow or other blocking it. And often we don't see it because it can be very tricky, very sneaky how we are doing that. It's not often not so obvious that we are blocking, but then just come the arguments in the mind, and maybe it doesn't lead anywhere, and why should I go deeper, and it's boring, and I should enjoy my life a bit better. Nothing wrong enjoying your life, but incidentally, the more you can let go of all that is limiting, the more you will enjoy every moment. Somehow or other, we need to be convinced of that. And the more that conviction is there, the less we will put those breakers on the way. But in the old habitual mind, there is always, yeah, but at least I have some joy, I have some happiness. If I just let go, maybe that goes and then nothing is there. So let me hold on to the little bit I have. But somehow that holding on most of the time stands in the way. So if you see it, by all means, see it, observe it, let go, don't hold on to it, and then the old patterns will start to dissolve by themselves.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of tendency of grasping everything, no? Because it happened only 3-4 times when I'm meditating, feel that kind of emptiness. But when I have felt that, immediately I have that reaction to, or no, where are you going? No, so it's like I came back again to the role, to the person, and I mean it's missed. That moment is totally missed. And as you say, I mean, the mind is very tricky. But I have also the conflict because we see always as the mind is the one who is making us so unstable, tricky, but on somehow it's not that way. It's a way of keeping that kind of duality, and in some way maybe we have to be friends our own mind and find a balance, and not looking always to the mind as our own enemy.
Right. Of course, it's just a way of talking. It's the mind that is doing it. The mind is not doing any damn thing because the mind it doesn't even exist. It's just our habitual way of putting consciousness in thoughts. And those habits have the tendency, if we are unconscious, to always create situations that make us suffer. And nobody wants to suffer because it's unnatural. Our natural way of existing is to be full of joy, to overflowing with joy. That beauty of existence wants to express itself. So we say the mind is doing this, the mind is doing that. We are doing that. It's not that I am there and there is my mind and we are fighting with each other. For a long time, I consciously felt like that on my path, that I'm fighting with my mind, I'm fighting with my mind. But of course, it's just that I'm creating this thought, that I'm creating that thought, and contradictions, and there is conflict, but it's all coming out of ourselves. It's not that there is a devilish mind there that somehow tries to trick us all the time. It's just a way of talking about it, but a fear of letting go of old habits, and then we have the tendency to create little tricks to keep the old structure in place, out of fear that if that goes, then I'm gone. But of course, I'm not gone. The I goes, and yet it doesn't go. The idea of the I may break down, but I am. Nothing can change that. Nothing can touch that.
Okay, thank you so much, Werner. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I
You're
really
welcome.
I want to tell you also that I really appreciate you are here every Saturday with us. It's a way of feeling that energy from you, Arunachala, and see many people from there. Thank you so much, Werner.
You're welcome. I just felt I had to do this, and so there we are.
Yeah. Thank
Chatting
you.
with each other.
Yeah. Thank you, Werner.
Hariom, hariom.
Hello, Werner.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Vivian.
Vivian, yes.
Yes.
I don't know if it leads into a question, but it's a concern I have.
Yes.
Because I do feel that without having like inner divinity and union with God, everything else is empty in my life, and I don't want to pursue anything else. I don't care what it is, I will pursue, but this is something I need to have within myself in order to have a meaningful life at all. And I'm sometimes scared that maybe my devotion or my praying or what I'm doing in my life wouldn't be enough in order to bring me this union within myself. And I'm at a point where I had a phase of a lot of retreats, and now it seems like I kind of have to go into the world and start to do things, but I don't really want that. Like, I don't really care. The only thing I really want is to have self-realization. And I don't know if there is anything that would I don't know, help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know if I just follow whatever life brings me. Just to be open to, if I have to go back now and maybe start to work at some point, if this is what I have to do, or if my longing for truth is so strong that I should, maybe fight with no, I don't know.
Are you still in Assisi?
Yes.
Yes. Now you want to become like Francis. Just throw away everything. Draw your inspiration from great beings like Francis. But you don't have to repeat their life. We don't have to imitate anyone. Be authentic yourself. And if you feel your path goes back, that you are going to be busy again more with people, that you are teaching this and teaching that, then go and do it. And don't be afraid that this will prevent you from your self-realization. Except if we go back and play a role and get totally identified with it and totally proud of it, I think after all I'm doing a good thing, and I'm a good person and I'm helping people there. That when we become aware that this is creeping in, there is some work to do to let that go. But it's not that union is not there. It's never absent. You cannot possibly miss it. It's in our experience, feels like it's not there. And the best way, the straightest way to get close to that is do that which we have to do, which we feel we have to do. Not simply an idea or an ideal how it should be done in front of us and then try to live like that. By all means, draw inspiration from great beings like Francis. But he has been living in his world at that time. Even he himself at the end of the life thought it wouldn't have been necessary to be so hard with his body. He was so connected with everything that he called everything brother and sister, and even his body was his brother donkey, his brother us. And when he left his body, when he left this world, he said goodbye to everything, brother moon, sisters, no, other way in Italian. brother and sister, everything, even the elements, he said goodbye, and then he said goodbye to his body and apologized. He said, oh, I treated you so badly, and I see it would not have been necessary. So don't think you're losing out if you live the life you feel you should live. Truth is here, is now, is timeless, is spaceless, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. Just if you do things that are taking your attention strongly away from that, then remind yourself, oh, connect. And have, in spite of that, even if you are busy, even if you go back to Zurich and are quite busy, have in that rather more busy life always your time where you can withdraw. Every day you have time where you have absolutely nothing to do, where you just have time to consciously be conscious, to consciously be alive, to consciously be here now in one way or another, with practice, with techniques, without techniques, whatever you are doing. And then bring that attitude as good as you can into your activities, into your interactions with people, in whatever you are doing. But if you feel in your heart that's what you have to do, then do that and don't let your head create problems and think, no, if I do that, I cannot get anywhere. I should live like this one, or I should live like that one, or I should do another thing. Just flow with your life and be as conscious as you can, here now. You are here now, timeless, and connect with that as good as you can.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because when I'm here or in Tiru, for me, it's so easy to be in peace and in inner harmony, and I don't need anything. Yeah. But it's another thing when I'm in action and in Zurich, and
yes,
maybe I have to learn that, to have this inner feeling everywhere I am, right? So
it's a good exercise to be in a place where you are now, where it's made easy, and then come back and do as good as you can with it. And then you can always retreat in between again if you feel the need.
Yes, I will, definitely. Thank you so much, Werner.
Many people have these questions when they come to Tiruvannamalai. They feel, it's so wonderful, it's so peaceful, it's so easy to connect. And how can I do that, or should I go back? But if it's not your destiny to just stay in such a place, then it wouldn't be helpful trying to force it. And for many, many people, it's much more helpful to have these periods where you simply step out, where you can put your undivided attention for longer periods, shorter periods, and then go back into the busyness of life again and manifest as good as you can, the same thing. And so when you are there, just create your space where you still can withdraw, where you have your sanctum, that you can connect easier also there, but then courageously go out, like not fearful, like somebody who is going to be hit by the world and people, but go out like a warrior on the battlefield. Okay, here I am, ready, come. and gradually the difference will be felt less and less.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Werner. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wish you well.
Thank you.
Everybody is longing for self-realization. Whether people know it or not, because the self is already realized. There's not really an action needed. And deep down, everybody knows our real, natural way of existing is to be in touch with that divinity, never to be separate, to let that beauty, that creativity, that joyousness just flow out and express itself. Deep down, everybody knows that would be the natural way of existing. And if the experience is not like that, that longing to come home is there in everybody. But it's so easy then to try to fill up that longing with all kinds of false things, accumulating more stuff, doing more crazy things, and hoping that eventually it's being filled up. Sometimes momentarily it can give the illusion, oh, now I'm so happy, so satisfied because I have this, I have that. But then it goes again, it becomes commonplace and that nagging is back, so thing is missing. It's not really that anything is missing, it's there. But somehow, having grown up in this world, it has happened that we lost the touch and feel separate from that. And then that longing is to come back, realize, self-realize. That's a great longing. But we don't have to make ourselves unhappy because of it. Just that longing can be there, let it be there like a beacon, but then we can learn to go about it joyously, playful. I was mad with that yearning, but it was not simply that purity of that yearning for the truth, but it can then also be connected, get polluted by the me idea. It was not simply that pure, innocent yearning for truth, for divinity, for freedom of this personality, but me, Werner, want this, I want that, I want, and had all kinds of ideas about it. So this became, for quite a while, a very painful business, because I had all these ideas, what I want, what should happen, and I try and nothing happens. The longing was good. The longing comes from the truth, comes from the source. It's the call to come home. But then we can learn to be playful about it. Accept whatever comes, deal with it as it comes, let it go as it goes. And then the longing in itself brings already so much joy and so much peace. And that pain that sometimes has tendency to creeping is getting relieved, at least to some extent. Just if we flow with the flow, if we flow with the longing, and not always bang on the table, but I want this, I want that, I want. Then already the process can become quite peaceful and joyous, and we need not go through a lot of pain or what was very popular concept in the Christianity, the dark night of the soul. We are creating that ourselves by mixing up that pure longing for truth, for being our natural self, with our me personal ideas, what it should be like. The more we can let that go and just hold on to that purity of that longing, the more even the process becomes also joyful and beautiful. Anybody would like to come in? Please come.
I would like to ask you, Werner, again. I had the feeling that we are balancing the energy that we are spending so much compared to the energy that we gain. And as long as I become older and that they are going, I had the fear that this bank of energies is going to be empty out. But can it happen?
No. Of course, superficially, physically, we can become weak. You know that better than anybody else as a doctor.
Yeah.
But where it counts, you don't lose any energy. It's a process of gradually building up. Essentially, you are the source of all energy. But then there is that being. And that being which is connected with the essence, with the source of energy, that being keeps on unfolding. And it's not that we somehow accumulate and then we do a stupid thing and we lose all again. Superficially, we can build up some energy and then throw it away and have to build up again. But where it counts, it keeps on building up all the time. Whatever is there really is not getting lost again. Even if in our, we can lose our vitality, we can lose our mind, we can lose our clarity. I mean, so many people, it happens in the old age that it feels like they were so energetic and so creative in the prime of their life, and then they become old and suddenly the mind doesn't function properly and they seem weak and they seem the mental energy, the physical energy has gone, has been lost. And on that level, you can say, yes, but for that being, that which counts, that which is there when they get out of this life is not lost. Nothing is ever lost. So don't worry about losing your energy, but we can be careful not throwing the vitality we have right now here for this day unnecessarily away for things that are hurtful, but rather use it in a way that is giving us the sense of creativity and fulfillment also on that level now.
Yeah, I got the idea. And I have another thing that is raised up, but it's the same thing, is this feeling that is coming from time to time of being lonely in this way. Can you speak about this feeling that it seemed to me that even other people had experienced that?
Oh, I remember that feeling very well. I felt lonely a lot in my life, but actually it becomes a problem because we make it into a problem. As long as we think, oh, I'm lonely, nobody understands me. Nobody can really understand what I'm thinking about, how I'm functioning, and somehow create a problem, then that feeling of loneliness becomes something very heavy to bear. But it's totally built up on the idea that in order to be complete, I need the understanding, I need the feedback from the others in order to be complete. The more we let that go, the more we turn the attention back to the self, the less that feeling of loneliness is there, in the sense that we feel like a poor little lonely creature, but it's turning more and more into a sense of aloneness. And then suddenly this is not a problem, but in contrary, it becomes the strength of your life, that there is something which is alone, which cannot be touched, which is not vulnerable, which is totally here, unaffected, unconcerned, unattached. Then out of that, which has created that feeling of loneliness and often self-pity that is attached to it, becomes a strength. When I grew up in Switzerland, I felt completely out of place. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Although it was easy to have friends, I wasn't having difficulties to have friends, but still I felt lonely often and made a big fuss about it. Oh, I feel so lonely. But it was that me, somehow who wanted more feedback from outside. And then when I came to India, first I went to an ashram in Bombay. We were 60 students there studying Vedanta. And I thought, now I'm coming home. Now this is so wonderful. Now we are all people who are studying the same, thinking about the same thing, and it's so wonderful. And gradually there the same feelings started to creep in again. That sense of loneliness started to creep in again. And then I didn't stay there as long as I thought. I went there with the idea to stay for 3 years, but after 1 year I left and then went to Kerala and stayed with Amma, and we were just a little group there with Amma. We're just a few guys hanging out with that young crazy mystic. And there again I felt, but now I came home. Now there is finally, I found the people where I'm not more lonely. But it took some time, and the same feeling started also to creep in there. It's something that I kept on creating, that me identification with that Werner personality wants always a certain reaction from the people, and if I'm not getting that, I'm feeling lonely. And gradually I understood, I felt it and let it go, and out of what previous created a lot of pain and a lot of unnecessary suffering, something very strong emerged. That same thing that gave that feeling of, oh, poor me, so lonely, turned into, okay, this is the truth. I'm alone, but I'm connected with everything. I'm connected with everybody, with everything. But that aloneness is also something that gives you strength and security, because there is something that cannot be hurt, that cannot be affected, that cannot be touched. At the same thing that was turned into an emotion that was creating pain and make me feel, oh, it's terrible, turned into something that is there like a rock. And the loneliness, the feeling of loneliness disappeared for good, cannot possibly come back. And instead of that, there is that sense of untouchable aloneness.
So what you said, that this understanding of aloneness is not coming from ignoring your environment or ignoring where you are being.
No, it has nothing to do. As long as we are looking for the right place, the right people, then we are looking for the environment and looking for the people. And you can find also your proper spot. But if we are prone to that feeling of loneliness, we will create it there also. It has nothing directly to do with the company we are keeping, with the place where we are. It has to do what we are doing in our head, with our emotions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there anybody who would like to say something? We are 46 people. Don't tell me nobody has any questions.
Hello, Werner. Hello, Werner.
Hello, Cyril.
Werner, I know you since 20 years. More than that.
Actually, we know each other 30 years, in the early 90s.
Oh, no. Where?
Yes. Oh, no.
No.
When I came with Suda, then
Yes.
we met.
First
Yes.
time. Yes.
20 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't move so much. I feel it's well, it's the same and it's different, but always something I always knew, and then and then the story go on, and then the suffering is there, and then so I'm not free, but it's just it's so long, and I have to suffer to grow. I have to go through suffering to grow. It's not happening like this, and then it would be so nice to be in Tiruvannamalai and just find the self. Hello? I think I don't know if you...
Off, and I couldn't connect all this time. So, Cyril, shall we go back to what you were talking about?
Yeah. No, okay. So I just at the end, I just come to a point of acceptance. Okay, I met you. I had this great meeting with Aja in Karnataka. I met Amma. You would send me to Amma one time, and that was great. And then here I am, and I don't know, but
What's the big deal? Huh?
exactly. Just forget about maybe just be and see, but
Just be and see where you are hurting yourself unnecessarily,
okay.
and learn not to do that anymore. But
Mm.
don't think that all these years they just were wasted. Subtly, when we are in the middle of it, we may not be aware of it, but subtly things keep on changing. Subtly, something keeps on building up. At some time, somewhere, everyone will start to consciously reap the fruit of all that. It may be sooner or it may be later, but don't think that all this time was wasted. It's not that you are still exactly at the same point where you were 20 years ago, but
No, I'm older now. I'm older, and I feel like it's making, maybe it's more difficult because I'm less
maybe
fresh. I'm less.
certain external things make it a little bit more difficult, but at the same time, your capacity of just being and relaxing, you cannot say this is more difficult now than it was before. It's that which matters.
Yeah. No, it's just the point that I feel like I have to let go before I say, oh, I will go to the mountain. Then I find a place in the mountain, but I get the Lyme disease, you know. Okay, then I say, oh, I will go there. I will try to, but everything collapses. Nothing works. So I have to just accept what is, and then that's it. No more the big plan to go in meditation in the mountain and to be, which I did for some time, and it was great. But then okay, so just
can meditate wherever you are, not only in the mountains.
Yes, I know.
Yes. But I mean, accepting is good. Accepting is essential, but not accepting as a victim, not accepting in weakness. Okay, I cannot do anything. Sort of life is treating me this way, that way. But accepting every situation as it is, but then still you can give your creative impulse into it. And if you feel like going to sit in the mountains, then you can still try to go and sit in the mountains, but you don't need to think, oh, I should go and sit in the mountains, only there I can do meditation.
Yes. I come to that point. Yes.
Yes, you can as well think, why should I now take all this trouble? You can as well comfortably sit at home. Huh?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Wish you well, Cyril.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll meet again here, if ever we can travel here.
Yeah, I'm here every Saturday. I mean, it's great to have your inspiration, and it's a good, very good thing. Yeah, thank you.
That of course we will meet on this. I meant here in Tiruvannamalai.
Yes.
Maybe, but we can also meet like this. It's good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Wish you well, Cyril.
Yeshuel.
Good. Anybody would like to come in?
Yes, Werner. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name again?
So,
Diora.
yeah. So, been listening to all this very moving sharing, and I wonder because something in me or something knows that I'm happier and liberated or freer than I'm willing to admit, or that something is unwilling to admit.
Yeah.
And there's always a question like, yes, but what if? Or, yeah, yes, but. There's always something which says, yes, but. Or, yeah, okay, you are happy now. Okay, you are rather free. Today you have been happy and free, let's say. But what if? So I understand it's all these voices, habits, and voices, but then you say there is no mind. And then also I'm looking for results, and looking for results is always in the relative realm. Somehow I look for a sign that will tell me, yes, it's fine, you are fine, it's okay, you are happy. I mean, not always, but happier. But the sign that I'm looking for is somehow maybe not in the relative realm.
And why are you looking for a sign? A sign that confirms that you are on the good way?
Why? I guess it's a habit. Somehow, like we need, like you said before, how much we're dependent on what other people tell us. But even other people tell me that I'm fine. People who know me, my family, my children, my grandchild loves me so much, and so it's fine, it's okay. I'm looking for a sign, as as if life is an insurance company, as they say.
Yeah.
I think I made myself clear.
Yeah. I think you made yourself as clear as you could, but you are not quite clear yourself about it.
Okay.
You're looking for a sign somehow to give you the okay, that you are okay, that you're okay, that your life is okay, that it's not that you have to wonder, maybe it's not okay. So you're looking for a sign that gives you the confirmation. Then you can say, okay, actually I'm doing fine, it's good, it's okay. But you are okay in yourself. And even if the mind comes, even if the thoughts come and say, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, when you don't see it, you cannot do anything. And then it just goes on and on and on. But when you see it, then you can see, uh-oh, there it goes again. And I need not continue in that vein. I need not repeat the same over and over, but simply step out of the current of yes, but, oh, okay, I just am here now. Without always judging, this is good, this is bad, this is nice, this is not nice. My life is okay, my life is not okay. and then waiting for confirmations to give me mental peace that says, okay, the sign is also there that my life is okay. Just be here, now, relax in that. But then life goes on playfully. Sometimes it's more joyous, sometimes less joyous. Sometimes you feel, it's a good situation, sometimes not. But you need not continuously question yourself and think, am I doing the right thing? Is it right what I'm doing? Is it wrong what I'm doing? Just flow with life, playfully.
But you see, let's say when I have an itch, I scratch.
Yes.
I feel the itch in my skin, my other hand scratch. I know there is an itch and I can scratch. But somehow with what I have described to you, I'm looking to know what is creating this noise. And even that I know what is creating the noise, these words. And yet somehow I don't know how to stop it. I mean, meditation, okay, but still, yeah, I understand. I should try because I do know when it comes. Then I can just say, okay, stop it. I mean, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe now we have tried to fight it, and that somehow it didn't work.
Okay.
Because of course it's coming also from you, and then both sides. It's you, and both have the equal strength. Now you can try another approach.
Yeah.
When those doubts come, when that itch comes, that is not so easy to scratch, then when you become aware of it, then don't get into, oh no, there I'm going again, and you already fight with yourself. But you say, okay, I'm ready, it's there. So let it go. Let the thoughts go their way they want to go. Let the emotions come up, but you at the same time observe the whole thing. You don't believe it anymore. Like, that is a fact. Just out of habit, let the thoughts and the feeling come and see how it is affecting you right now. Observe your body, what it is doing to your body. This whole, oh, but yes, and this, and I'm looking for that. See how every thought, every emotion has the tendency energetically to manifest in the body. And if you treat it more like this, then you can consciously start to relax when it's happening, when you observe it. When you get cramped legs, then you just relax your legs and don't try to resolve the mental problem. Just relax in the now. Relax your feet, relax your legs, the whole legs, then the whole rest of the body start to relax more. And if you physically relax more, energetically you start to relax more. If you physically, energetically relax more, then the mental also has the tendency to calm down. Instead of fighting it, accept it, okay, it's there, and just watch it, see what it is doing, and relax. Try it that way.
Yeah, I have to remember that. I've heard that so many times before, and I just
Yeah,
I have to remember that. Yeah, yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah.
As long as we're not remembering, nothing can be done. But when the memory comes, then don't sabotage it and think, oh yes, I should do it like this, but I never do it, and there you go again. But the moment you remember, you just do it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Awareness, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Werner, thank you so much. I
Wish you
appreciate
well. I wish you well.
it.
Hari Om. Well, if there is not really any urgent question, then I think I'm turning off the recording. And as usual, so